Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Mego301 here with another Death Battle reaction. As always, I'm joined by Minato,
Hi.
and today we're going to be watching Martian Manhunter vs. Silver Surfer, DC vs. Marvel. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really, I'm kind of indifferent towards this one.
It's probably not going to be nearly on the same level as Guts vs. Dimitri, let's be real.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I still have no doubt it's going to be phenomenal, but yeah, I'm just
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Netflix's One Piece and Shady Rays.
Like, Guts vs. Dimitri, I just have too much of a personal attachment to.
Alright.
Martian Manhunter, DC Space Ranger.
The Silver Surfer, Marvel's Sentinel of the Spaceways.
The depths of space hold secrets beyond our comprehension, but these sage superheroes have seen more of it than any of us could ever hope to.
He's
I vaguely remember
and it's our job to analyze their weapons,
superhero
armor, and
squad as a
skills to
kid.
find out who would win.
I don't know
on
anything
Death
about
Battle.
Silver Surfer, but I'm pretty sure he wins.
For as long as mankind has looked upon the night sky, the stars have beckoned the brave to search
All
the
I know about
unknown
Martian Manhunter
and
is that he's
explore
weak to
its
fire.
endless
Yeah.
wonders.
Because of
like Dr.
because,
Solar.
Doom-
I mean, I know bits from what I
Doctor
watched of the
in
DC
game when Dr.
cartoons.
Pepper is a doctor. This guy's got no formal education, but that didn't stop him from messing around with some ancient tech he stumbled upon.
He was desperate to live out his boyhood dreams of exploring the cosmos. So with the tech's advanced capabilities, Erdell created a machine that would bring the cosmos to him.
He pointed the machine at Mars, pushed a button, and hoped for the best. And it worked! Erdell summoned a real-life Martian right before his very eyes. So remember, kids, when in doubt, just push buttons. Never fails.
The mysterious and powerful alien known as J'onn J'onzz, the Martian Manhunter, immediately started using his incredible powers in front of the Doctor, like mind reading and shape-shifting.
Which was just the tip of Erdell's discoveries. Turns out, Martians have complete control over their bodies and can transform into practically anything, like a freaking dragon, an exact duplicate of Wonder Woman down to her central nervous system, or even a totally generic green monster that loves choco cookies.
They can also shoot lasers from their eyes, fire psionic blasts, turn invisible, and phase through anything. Even Green Lantern constructs and force fields that Superman couldn't get through.
On top of all that, they've got a crazy healing factor. John has regenerated back from a single limb, tiny pieces, or even a puddle of goo.
This display of awe-inspiring power
So we're probably getting a
overwhelmed
vaporization
Dr.
death
Erdell's
no
poor
matter
human
what
heart
happens.
and caused him to die in the Martian's arms.
Damn! Well, at least he accomplished his goal before he bit the red dust, right? Anyway, John used his shape-shifting abilities to hide amongst his new world by assuming the identity of a recently deceased detective named John Jones. God, what a crazy coincidence, comic book writer, you clever man.
Detective J'onn J'onzz lived a double life on Earth for many years, solving cases and helping as many people as he could from the shadows. But eventually, he stepped out, revealing himself to the world, and helped found the Justice League of America.
And John definitely holds his own in the supergroup. He once pulled the Earth alongside Wonder Woman and Superman, who has stated that of all the beings in the known universe, he would be afraid to fight John.
And he should be afraid. Superman wouldn't be the first Kryptonian John has gone toe-to-toe with. He's manhandled Ultraman, who's basically evil Superman from another universe, and Superboy Prime, who can shatter reality with his punches, and is also evil Superman from another universe.
He took a blast from Asmodel, the king angel from a literal army of heaven. He's held his own against Darkseid, the manifestation of tyranny in the DC universe. And he's fast enough to catch up to Supergirl and Superman, who we know flies so fast he can burst the bonds of infinity. So basically, he's just as strong and just as fast as a bunch of crazy gods and
5 minutes in,
demons.
we already at
John's strength
infinite
and
counts.
speed are obviously very impressive. It's also no secret that his greatest asset is his mind. He's one of the most powerful telepaths in all of the DC universe.
He reads minds, duh, but he can also shut them down altogether. And he once made Mr. Mixel Plexiglass, Mr. Mixed Pickles, fuck your name, that's whatever. Anyway, he got him to subconsciously say his own name
I
backwards,
think
which
it's
God
actually
only knows because I can't say it forwards, which canceled out his powers.
His psychic defenses were strong enough to protect the Justice League against a worldwide telepathic attack.
I'm not even
And
gonna try to
his
pronounce it.
feelings is so strong, he can feel every sentient being in the entire galaxy.
And he once out-thought Perpetua from the Omniverse. Who's that, you ask? Oh, just
I'm
the
guessing we're not getting,
creator of the entire
Mixie versus
multiverse.
Lord
She's
English
basically the
anytime
god
soon.
of everything.
Jean needed to connect his
Probably
consciousness
not.
with everyone on Earth before Perpetua could catch up. He pulled this off by using his mental abilities within the span of Planck time, literally the smallest
Mixie's name
possible
sounds like a bad
measurement
Scrabble
of
hand,
time.
like
In the
the
time it takes
worst
you to count to
possible Scrabble
one,
hand.
Jean could count
And
to
yo,
one
Roblox
and fly
versus
across the universe and
Minecraft
back over
confirmed?
200 sextillion times.
He out-thought God. He's a faster thinker than God. And it didn't end there. John took a punch from her and walked away with just a bloody nose. And when she disintegrated him into basically nothing, he regenerated back from a hit from God.
Batman has said that in order to kill Jean for good, you would have to literally destroy every single atom in his body, one by one.
God damn! If I didn't love alliteration so much, I'd say we change this guy's name to Martian God Hunter or something. He's basically invincible, right?
Not quite. Jean is not without weakness. He has a very real vulnerability to fire. At times, it has completely overwhelmed him to the point where he loses control of his body.
And not just literal fire either. Jean was once tricked into just thinking he was surrounded by fire, and that was enough for him.
Even still, Jean has been able to overcome this weakness. He's fought enemies with fire abilities and even taken hits from fire attacks, which leads me to believe the weakness, while potent and still able to cause real physical harm, is mainly psychosomatic. What are you doing?
I heard what you said. Weakness to fire is just in your head. I'll be a living god! Another win in the mind column for sure. And to think there's a whole planet of these guys out there.
Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Before Dr. Erdel's strange experiment, Jean's own brother used the Martians' telepathic connection to each other against them, and the entire planet was plagued with Ronmir's curse.
As long as they stayed telepathically connected, every Martian was vulnerable to a mental fire that would overwhelm them and burn them from the inside out.
Which sadly worked very well, because the fear of fire is something Jean shares with his fellow Martians.
Good lord, that's
Centuries
horrifying.
earlier, the Guardians of the Universe, a group of immortal aliens who run the Green Lantern Corps, feared that the Martian race could become too strong. So they programmed the Martians with that genetic weakness to fire.
Jean was able to survive the fiery curse by cutting off his mental connection to his people, including his family. Unfortunately, his wife, Myria, and their daughter couldn't live with the isolation, and he had no choice but to watch them give in and burn alive. Damn.
Racked with grief and survivor's guilt, Jean was left
What?
to wander his homeworld all alone.
Okay,
His only
damn.
solace being shape-shifting into his lost loved ones to convince himself they were still alive.
That's
Oh my
fucked
God.
up.
Jesus, John. That is so sad.
That pain has
Depressing.
undoubtedly shaped who Jean is. In fact,
Christ.
the trauma he held onto so tightly formed a literal spiritual connection with those lost souls. A telepathic connection so strong, it kept them from finding peace in an afterlife. Let me say that again. His grief and telepathy were so strong, he prevented an entire race of people from moving on to the afterlife.
It wasn't until years later that
DC
John could
Comics,
return to
folks,
Mars
everyone.
and release those souls by finally letting go. And not to forget them, but to embrace his new life and his new home. A place he would defend time and time again to make sure the Earth never suffers a fate similar to Mars.
To experience all of that, to truly know what it feels like to be alone in the vast universe, but continue to use your wisdom and power to help those in need, is what makes the Martian Manhunter such a noble hero.
On a planet packed with other incredible heroes, Jean really has set himself apart. He's risen through the ashes and emerged the heart and soul of the Justice League.
Well,
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by One Piece on Netflix.
Made by fans
That
for
was- that
fans,
was
this
depressing
live-action
as fuck.
adaptation of the beloved manga is designed to introduce new audiences to the zany pirate epic. And where else would it start but the East Blue, a world populated by pirates with supernatural powers, gifted by mysterious devil fruits, where telephones are snails.
And a treasure hidden by the late Goldie Roger kicks off an era of epic adventure.
This action-packed series follows the Straw Hat Pirates, a crew of true
You think we're gonna
Nakama
get a One
determined
Piece
to
episode
find
this
the
season?
legendary
That
One
would
Piece
be- that would
and
be-
live
it has
free
been a
on the
while.
high seas.
Wasn't
All
Sanji the last
One
One Piece
Piece
character we've
by
had?
the honorable Marines, protecting
I
the
still got a
waterways from
strong
those
feeling we're gonna get
dastardly
Whitebeard.
In an
versus
ocean
Eskimo
of
later
grim
this
and
year.
gritty adaptations, One Piece is an adventurous.
I don't know. I'm
warm-hearted,
still not
binge-worthy
counting
island.
anything out. I still think we could get
was involved
literally
in every step of
anything.
the process, which has never been done before in any other live-action manga adaptation.
Pirates life for me. Marines stink.
Watch One Piece August 31st, only on
One
Netflix.
Piece! The One Piece is real!
The One Piece
Zen
real!
Law, a virtual utopia.
Alright,
free
let's
from
see what
any and
Silver
all
Surfer's
crime,
bringing.
Poverty and disease.
And home to Norin Red, which I've gotta say is the sickest, most radical name I have ever heard in my entire life. He was a brainy kid who was raised to live a life of reason and intellect over one of gnarly adventure.
That is, until the technologically advanced society came under threat from the devourer of worlds, Galactus.
So Norin struck up a deal with the World Muncher. In exchange for sparing his planet, Mr. Red offered to leave his home behind, become Galactus's herald, and seek out new planets for him to scarf down.
And once Galactus agreed to the deal, he imbued his new herald with the power cosmic, transforming him into the Silver Surfer.
An equally tubular name. 2 for 2. Wow, you rarely see it.
The power cosmic grants the Surfer near unlimited energy, as well as matter manipulation,
Seen the Wizard
phasing,
of
super
Oz a
strength,
thousand
speed, and
times.
invulnerability.
Definitely
just
an
name a
interesting
few.
to bring.
The Surfers basically got all of
Or bring up.
Galactus' space magic, just
I
on a
do
smaller
like
scale.
when they bring
And
up, like,
Galactus
obscure
uses
trivia
that
of
power
Yeah, I
as
do
like
enjoy
an
that as well.
in-betweener, an abstract being
Didn't they
from
mention
the
that Virgil
overspace.
lost
The
a
Surfer
drinking
used the power
contest, remember,
cosmic
and
to
he
serve
got
Galactus
robbed because
diligently
of
for
it?
nearly 100
Yeah.
years, during which he ensured that the planets consumed were devoid of sentient life.
That is, until the Surfer accidentally offered up a planet with life,
that actually
which drove
Virgil,
him crazy
though? Was
with
that
guilt.
that
So
god-awful
Galactus tried his best to
Virgil?
suppress the Surfer's emotions, erase the painful memories, and make it easier for him to find planets with tasty, delicious life, guilt-free. How nice of him.
And it worked for a while until the Surfer reached Earth. Galactus's mighty mind manipulation
Was
wasn't
that
enough to
fucking
bury
a
the Surfer's
Garfield
true nature
reference?
for good. With
I
the help
don't
of Alicia
know.
Masters and the Fantastic Four, the Surfer turned against his overlord and saved the Earth from being eaten.
But even after all that, Galactus just let the Surfer keep his powers. At any point, he could have just taken them back.
Being the source of the Surfer's powers, yes, he could. But Galactus has continued to let the Surfer have the power cosmic out of respect for his first herald.
Damn. See, that's the kind of respect I'm asking from you. Anyway, ever since those mental gymnastics with Galactus, the Surfer made sure nothing like that would ever happen again.
And he's been successful, like when Psycho Man failed to trick the Surfer with his illusions, or when he was briefly trapped in the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using the Mind Stone.
With some of those mental threats behind him, he could finally take to the
Oh, dang, we could
spaceways,
resist
kick
the Mind
ass, and
Stone.
monologue about the meaning
Yeah.
of life in the universe.
All of which he's quite good at, especially that last one. It's thanks to the abilities afforded to him through all that cosmic energy.
It's seriously crazy. He can rearrange the molecules of anything he wants into anything he wants. He can force you to just feel pain in general, and he can even control elements. Not just earth, wind, and fire, but anything in a boogie wonderland like gravity and the weather.
Okay.
He's got enough power and energy inside him that he once
So
created
it seems
an
like he
infant
does
star to serve as a
have-
new light
I'm
source
pretty
in a
sure he does
universe
have access to
devoid of
fire.
light.
He
So
100%
just
has
when
access
he
to
needed
fire.
It, he was able to pop out a baby son? That's convenient.
That's the power cosmic.
But we can't forget about the sick board he shreds the stars with. This thing's basically an extension of himself. He can transform it into a sweet sword or into pure cosmic energy. And if it breaks, he can just form a new one.
On his board, the Surfer has traveled at incalculable speeds on multiple occasions.
Okay,
He can fly
so-
faster than Thor and even once flew so fast he reached the future.
Even without his board, he once broke free from energy shackles that would zap away his power within the next nanosecond. Gnarly, brah. He once outsurfed a wave of universal destruction. He had to surf out of all of existence as it was being torn apart. Now, I've seen some choice waves in my day, but if you ask me, that's one too best for watching on the beach with a brew.
You're hitting it real hard with all this surfing lingo. He's honestly not that kind of guy at all.
Righteously disagree with you, dude. You are carving up my brainwaves into an A-frame swell that I just can't bail. I'm waxed, man.
I'm not sure
waxed.
whether I like this
The
gag
Silver
or not.
Surfer is a tragic
that-
figure
oh
who is
my
always weighing
God.
his choices through every angle of morality. Like when he
What
set
a
out to destroy
shitload
the
of
new host
fuck.
of the Star Brand, an energy source that grants his wielders virtually infinite power, capable of wiping out all life on Earth.
The Star Brand seems to choose a new unknowing host at random. Could be a good guy, could be the most evil person to ever exist. But despite that threat, the surfer spared the new Starbrand once he found out she was carrying a child.
He decided to bear the weight of any potential consequences on his own shoulders instead of squashing any and all hope that the child would use that power for good.
I get it. He's a righteous dude on a surfboard.
Exactly. And in the surfer's case, a keen sense of morality also comes with a keen sense of his surroundings in general. He can see enemies even when they're invisible and can sense incoming threats, to the point where he can sense someone approaching even before they've left their own home.
He can also absorb energy his opponents throw at him. Anything from psionic energy to a freaking star. The surfer can even do it when he's on death's door. Hey Wiz, what do you think the doormat on death's door says? Probably like, knock 'em dead, right?
What are you talking? Now, it does take a lot to get the surfer to death's door. He's taken a blast from the Infinity Stones,
I saw Jean
survived
Grey's
being
name.
smashed into pieces, crashed into the Big Bang, and played catch with a star.
He caught it
I
and then
didn't get
threw it
time to read
right
the whole
back
thing,
at
but
that punk
I'll
didn't
Deadpool.
either.
Ha! I hope you like a big ball of gas in your face, you tool.
Reed Richards, the smartest man alive, has said that the surfer is probably the most powerful being in all the galaxy.
And even after years spent drifting through the galaxy, he's still built strong bonds, like with the Fantastic Four, the Defenders, and with people like Dawn Greenwood.
But somehow, he always ends up alone in space, searching for answers, searching for beings that need his help, searching for something that could replace the home that he lost all those years ago.
Only to be weighed down by the guilt of his servitude and the pain of his sacrifice, which was ultimately done in vain. Cause it doesn't seem to matter what the surfer does. Zenla is destined for destruction. At this point, his home world has been destroyed 4 times over.
Despite it all, this tragic hero still manages to take everything in stride as he surfs the stars and fights tirelessly to preserve every being's right to live. This
So,
episode is sponsored by Shady Rays.
Son,
I'm
giving you
guessing
trouble
probably
this
Silver
season?
Surfer,
Take
maybe?
it off
Yeah,
with
I'm
your
gonna go with
umbrella.
Silver Surfer on this
Shady
one.
Rays Premium polarized
It
shades are
seems like one
perfect
of
for
those
the warm
matchups where
weather
it's
and
just
available
gonna
at
come
an
down to one
affordable
little
price.
thing.
Shady
I'm
Rays
pretty
is an
sure
independent
Silver Surfer.
sunglasses company that offers
I'm
a
pretty sure they
world-class
mentioned
product
something about
that's just
elemental
as good as
manipulation.
any of those.
Yeah, not to mention,
They
like,
look pretty
same
clear that
quality for
even though
way
he
less. What's better
can
than that?
resist
They're
it,
also
it is
built tough
kind of
with
still a
durable
weakness
frames and
Martian
clear
Manhunter
optics for
has.
the
Yeah.
outdoors.
That's not
I
even the
feel
best
like
protection
Silver
this
Surfer
eyewear
would be able to
provides.
just
If you
turn up the
lose
heat
or
enough
break a pair,
so that
even on day
Martian Manhunter isn't able to resist it anymore.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, all the other little things, like, mental resistances and just matching him in speed. I think,
Mental resistances too.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd say Silver Surfer overall has more counters to
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter.
gotta go with Silver Surfer here. Now, let's see, I got the last 2 wrong, so will this be turning into a streak? Please don't let it turn into a streak. This season's been so good to me thus
Please do
far.
not be my bad luck charm. I
Uh,
already have like a flawless winning streak. Do not be the reason that falls. I'm gonna laugh so hard if you end up being the reason to get like my first wrong one. I'd much rather be my first wrong one be like fucking like Bill versus Discord or something because I've heard Discord wins.
yeah. Oh,
But
okay,
I
well,
really want Bill.
All
to
right,
win.
the combatants
Yeah,
are
same
set,
here.
and we've run the data through all
alright,
possibilities.
here we go.
It's time for a death battle!
Well, let's see what this one's got in store.
Alright!
In all of my journeys, I have never seen anything quite like this.
I assumed your journeys would have made you rather familiar with places like this, Nordenrad. Or should I say, Silver Surfer? Now, tell me why you have summoned me here.
Enough!
Yeah, he already committed
What are you hiding?
That is a pretty cool intro.
Yeah, I can't deny that. It's slow pace so far, though.
Tell me your secrets.
I must end this.
Okay, going right to murder, I see.
There is no use in hiding.
Oh my god!
I can feel
Alright.
your presence.
Okay,
Okay,
now it's
That is-
picking up.
Nothing can best Martian might. Your will is admirable, but will alone is not enough. Feel the pain.
Oh, the pain amplifier. Yeah, I was thinking of that as well.
You and I possess the same knowledge. That only one of us can survive, and we know not why.
I hope you can live with the uncertainty.
Victory comes with no certain satisfaction. I may never know why we were made to fight. If violence is ever truly justified. But perhaps there is something worthy in the battle. Myria. Something beyond my understanding.
Christ,
the end.
that
Yeah, I
was
called it.
depressing as fuck.
Wiz, what the hell are we doing? Why are we forcing such beautiful souls to fight to the death?
Both the Silver Surfer and the Martian Manhunter were two
Wiz just
extraordinarily
completely
powerful
ignoring
beings,
Boomstick.
each with very wide power sets.
So they both had counters for almost everything they could
I mean,
throw
Wiz
at
is
each
the guy
other.
who
They could
took
both
apart
face through
his
objects,
first
rearrange
girlfriend to build his
molecules,
first
and
death laser,
regenerate
I'm
their
pretty
own
sure,
bodies.
so-
But arguably the
True.
biggest thing on the Martian Manhunter's side was his formidable telepathy. The Surfer has had his memories
Yeah,
erased and
Martian
his emotions
Manhunter had
manipulated
exactly
by Galactus.
one
So
advantage,
it would
and that
stand
was
to
Yeah.
reason that Jean could
comparable
pose a mental
in
threat to
something.
the Surfer.
But the Surfer has resisted mental attacks many times. When Psycho Man played on the Surfer's guilt and pretended to be his lost love, the Surfer saw right through it, and he escaped the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using the frickin' Mind Stone.
These two could have gone toe-to-toe around the universe for a long time. But when it came down to it, the question was, who had the power to put the other down for good?
They both have some serious healing factors and have come back from basically nothing. But if ending Martian Manhunter meant destroying his every atom one by one, the Surfer has the means to make that happen thanks to the seemingly endless well of energy that is the power cosmic.
It's truly an overwhelming source of unlimited power. And outside of Galactus stripping the power away from him, the Surfer is never without it.
It's like a battery. Even if Jean could drain all of the cosmic energy, the Surfer can just recharge it. And he's used that power to destroy planets, defeat Galactus-level threats, and can basically accomplish anything with it.
While both of these philosophic heroes tend to hold back out of a respect for life, there's obviously no holding back here, and the depth of Silver Surfer's abilities gave him the win.
This Martian was harsh in his mellow, so the Surfer had to wave goodbye. Bodacious Cowabunga Hang Ten Ninja Turtles!
The winner is the Silver Surfer.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
Yeah.
for watching. Stay tuned. We have a new death
All right,
battle releasing
next
every 2
time,
weeks
let's
this
go.
year. And click the join button to get new perks and extra
We already
content.
know what's next,
Planet
but
level
I just
members
wanted to
even see
confirm
death
it.
I feel
battles
like it was
before
kind of
anyone
over
else,
before
so
it
don't miss out.
started.
Yeah. Here we go.
I don't know. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's the third Marvel versus DC fight and the second one that's cosmic, like in this close of a proximity. I always kind of preferred the
Like street tier.
yeah. More I think about it, yeah, I kind of do. The only off the top of my head, the only really cosmic one that I that really sticks out to me, I'd say, is Swamp Thing versus Man Thing, and that's really because I want to see them like grow into different planes of reality and like different animation styles. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. But yeah. What'd you think of the episode?
It was okay. I mean, I liked Martian Manhunters. Silver Surfers was kind of eh. I mean, it feels like they kind of went over mostly just feats and kind of
Yeah, honestly, this is definitely the lowest episode this season for me.
Just really unfortunate timing since Guts versus Dimitri is the only thing between it and Raven versus Phoenix, but man.
Yeah, but Raven versus Phoenix was like another cosmic scale episode, and that episode was awesome.
I mean, it was alright too. I mean, I will admit, part of my reaction came from Raven winning and the next time.
Fair enough, but like this episode, even the fight just felt like so slow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
kind of slow.
Yeah,
I mean, it had a strong intro, and the ending was pretty neat. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know. Nothing in between really sticks out to me.
Agreed. Yeah.
It might be a victim of circumstance, to be fair. So, I mean, I don't know.
This genuinely feels like a filler episode. That's the only way to describe it.
It kind of did feel like a rainy day episode, really, because like with the hype around Guts versus Dimitri, the fact that Bill versus Discord is next.
Yeah. Speaking of which, going for Bill, I have a feeling Discord's going to win.
I'm rooting for Bill, but expecting Discord to win. I'm definitely going to be much more excited for this one because Gravity Falls is one of, if not my favorite show.
Dude, I love Gravity Falls so much.
I'm going to be really excited to see them tackle that.
Without a doubt. But yeah, that will do it for this episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Original video will be in the description. And Minato, any closing words?
Support Garland versus Erstead from Live Alive in the champion ballot.
You heard him. I'm not a champion myself, so I have no say. Alright, I will see you all in the next video. See ya!